Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is due out from Llewellyn Books this October, and it's already available for pre-order at the Llewellyn website or also on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. It is time for this month's Tarotscope. This is going to be part 3, where we're going over the astrological signs of Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. So if you are a Libra or you have a lot of Libra in your chart, this first message is going to be for you. Six of Swords, Page of Cups, creative time, and the Eight of Cups. Okay, so Libra, pretty intense month for you. Number one, you're going through a transition. We got that Six of Swords, which is saying that you're leaving the rough waters behind in your life and you're going toward a smooth harbor. There are some changes you're undergoing and some work you're going to be doing on yourself that might bring about some temporary discomfort, and it might require you to change. But it's saying that there's a promise of a really nice horizon in the future here if you cooperate with that transformation or that change. Also, any movement, even little minor travel, or even getting up and moving is going to be so beneficial to you this next month. It might be a time to get some exercise, or even put yourself in a new situation, or get a little bit of a change of scenery if you're starting to go buggy in the house. The second card we got is the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is the most creative card in the tarot. This is such a sensitive card too. And so for Libra, this could be a time to work on a creative project that's really near and dear to your heart. It's also a time to be a little bit more playful. There's a lot of intensity that's kind of around some of your creative energy at this time, and you might need to come up for air. So it's important to take breaks. And also with that Six of Swords next to the Page of Cups, it's like intensely focus on that creative project, but then also recharge your batteries, retreat, get a change of scenery, and don't just obsessively zero in or focus on that one thing in your life at this time. Also, this is a wonderful time to communicate your feelings. Talk about them with people that you're trusting. The Page of Cups is dressed in pinks and blues, and pink is associated with that heart chakra, with feelings and emotions and love. And blue is associated with the throat chakra, which has to do with communication. So this could be a time to really express what's really in your heart or what's on your mind, and also express to your loved ones how you want to change and how maybe you want those relationships around you to change as well. Finally, we got that Eight of Cups. This is a card of coming home to your authentic self. We see an eclipse happening on the card, and the moon is blocking out the sun. And the moon is a representation for your inner self, your authentic self, the true you. And it's taking precedence over the sun, which is a symbol for your image, your career, how people see you. And it's a card of really getting real. You see that figure on the Eight of Cups who's reminiscent of the Hermit, and he's going inward. He's going towards those waters, and he's overcoming the obstacles of those craggy rocks, and he's getting back in touch with what's most sensitive within him. All of the 3 cards for Libra this next month of July feature the element of water very prevalently. And so this could be a time where you're really dealing with or processing emotions that have been going on in the background for quite a while. The tide is turning, and it looks like you're phasing out of one life and into the next. But it's also indicating that this is a time where you're really getting a glimpse of your true power and your true potential. Anything that you're developing on that creative level, this is a wonderful time to put that forward. But it might also be a time to deal with difficult feelings such as depression, lethargy, or resistance to change, and really talk about those things and get some support to get things rolling. So that is for Libra. Next, we have the sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio or you have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, this is going to be the message for you. So we got the Eight of Swords, Three of Swords, and the Moon. So there's some intense energy around Scorpio. Number one, when we see that Eight of Swords, it can give you that feeling like your hands are tied. Sometimes the Eight of Swords is also a card of fear or feeling paralyzed by fear in some way. But these fears that are binding you up are totally something that you can take charge of. Even though the woman is tied up on the Eight of Swords, she's all by herself. She's abandoned. And if you look at her, she's actually flanked by all these swords. They're sharp. And she can cut those bindings anytime she wants to. She can just rub those bindings against those sharp swords and run for safety into that castle. And so the Eight of Swords like all swords cards, has to do with things that are mental, things that are happening in your mind, and things that might be tying you up in knots and making you feel afraid or like you can't move forward, but it's just a fear that you need to stand up to and also free yourself from. Also, there's a fear of hurt. The Three of Swords is sometimes a card that feels betrayed. It feels like someone's hurt your heart in a way. And that heart is getting weighed down by these heavy swords, and it cannot rejoin the sun above the clouds. So it's getting pelted with rain. And sometimes this Three of Swords is indicating that the thing that is binding you up might come in the form of needing to forgive somebody or let go of the past, let go of some kind of pain that you're hanging on to. Maybe stop expecting the worst and start to open your heart to healing and feeling the best again. Sometimes we hang on to the swords in our heart, even if they're giving us pain, because swords represent power. And we think if we hang on to the thing that really hurt us before, well, we'll be prepared next time and we won't get as hard a shock in our life as well. And the Three of Swords is just saying that that's an illusion. It's keeping you in suffering. It's time to let those things go so your heart can be unburdened at this time. Follow your instincts, Scorpio. They are absolutely clear. The Moon card is saying that there's things that are pulling your life, hidden forces that are moving deep within you, and they're pushing you towards that right direction. This is a time to look inward, but not to stop at that layer of hurt or fear that you first confront when you look inside. Sometimes we're told, look inward, and we look inward and we see a fear or we see something that makes us uncomfortable. But your instincts are far beyond or below those initial superficial feelings that you're going to see when you look inward. Go deeper and really question things and ask your instincts, ask your inner voice, where are things leading? The Moon indicates that in about a month, there's going to be some major healing happening for you, but you have to surrender to the change. Next, we got the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So if you are a Sagittarius or you have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, this is going to be the message for you for July 2020. First card for Sag, the Fool. Second, the Two of Swords. And third, the Queen of Swords. All right, Sagittarius, this is going to be your month to go for it, to take a risk, to leap off the cliff and maybe take a chance on your heart's true desire. Whenever we see the Fool card, he's packed his bags, he's going out on a new journey, the skies are yellow, and this just indicates that he's getting some wind in his sails and he's optimistic. The Fool is a card of newness, and he's also a card of taking a risk, putting yourself out there, and really allowing yourself to go towards your heart's desire, even if you don't know what's going to happen or know everything about what you're going for at this time. The Fool is the Fool because he's needing to be open to learning. He's still learning as he goes. He doesn't know what he doesn't know yet. And he's all about going out into life and gaining those wise experiences by just doing it, by going for it instead of just thinking about it. For Sagittarius, the overarching theme for the next 2 months for you, not just July, but also August, is that you're in an in-between time. This is the Two of Swords message. The woman's in between the swords. She's in between the new moon and the full moon. She's in between the sky and the sea. She's also blindfolded, which means she can't see what's coming next. So there's kind of like a sign for Sagittarius that you have blinders on. You don't know what's coming next. But you need to be calm because everything is transitioning in its appropriate and perfect timing. When we look at the woman with the Two of Swords, she's unperturbed about being in between. She's calm, she's centered, she's serene. It's like she's meditative. She's going to that quiet, happy place within. And she's also not forgetting that energy of the Fool right next to her, which is that it's time to let things change. It's time to go towards something that you know is going to make you happy, but will require you to phase out of the old and into the new. Finally, we got that Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a master at transforming the energy by transforming it from feeling like a victim to feeling victorious. She wears the butterfly crown, which means that transformation is her MO. She's also got that one singular bird way above her in the distance. And unlike the other Swords court cards, which have flocks of birds or a lot of birds, the Queen of Swords has only one. And this says that she's going to work best independently this next month. The Queen of Swords is saying, don't get bent out of shape. Don't let your emotions get the better of you, but be logical. Look at what makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, don't rail against it and get upset. Just say, well, that is illogical. That makes no sense. Let's do what does make sense. As long as you're taking that sort of logical tack this next month, it's really going to help you past anything that's causing a sense of inner turmoil or conflict. So that is this month's oracle for video 3. We are going to go into video 4 next. If you want to get a reading from me, you can catch me at elliotoracle.com. Otherwise, I hope this month is safe and happy for you. Take care.